live. Well, wait,
It
we were
feels
already
good.
live. We're double live now.
Good
How
morning.
goes it, bro? Yeah, good morning. Top of the morning to you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Where is here, by the way? Because it looks
Here
like you're
is
calling me from like Little Wayne's trunk,
here is DDP HQ.
the
Parts
headquarters of the
unknown.
decentralized dance party.
You've been here.
I have. It's amazing, and I love you. And I love the DDP, and I thank you for that. And shout out to Dogecoin because that was like a life changing experience for me, and I love it. But yeah, bro. Yeah, like, what's up? Like, I don't even know like where to start because I feel like the whole like, oh, who are you? What do you like? I hate that part of like all things, but like I have to start with like, so do you got like football practice later or something?
Party practice.
Party practice. Is that like how you party safely?
Not necessarily. It's how you party
N-
on another level without losing life and limb. Or worse.
That's a good point. I've been to a few parties where I'm in a few situations where I'm like, shoulder pads would be clutch right now, right? Like it's definitely like a party accessory for sure.
Definitely can come in handy. The best was when we flew to Europe to do the DDP tour there. We had no space, so I had to wear this the whole time. It was like 14-hour flight. It's like, man, are they gonna let us through the friggin' gates with this on?
Where were you
That
flying
was
in? Because
fine.
the whole time I would have just told people I was, I'm going for tryouts. I'm on your team in the city or wherever now. Like I'm your new starting quarterback. It would have been so much fun.
Definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about what the DDP is for people that may not know, even though it's a decade old, bro.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I have a video handy somewhere. You ready for a screen share?
Yeah, if you're sharing audio as well, I think I should be able to capture that for the audience.
Yeah. We've got practice. Just give me a thumbs up. Make sure the audio is
Oh,
working.
okay.
Good to go?
We'll see. I gotta wait for the audio to start.
Hi, I'm Gary of Tom
We're
and
good.
Gary's Decentralized Dance Party. For 10 years, we hosted gigantic open source parties all over the world. We did this using an FM radio transmitter to broadcast out to hundreds of boomboxes, creating a mobile, synchronized sound system. These parties completely transform public space, allowing total strangers to instantly connect on a deep human level. Our ultimate goal was always to host a simultaneous global party that would unite the world in celebration and earn us the Nobel Peace Prize. When the pandemic canceled everything, we began hosting virtual parties and quickly realized that by linking giant portable speakers to our virtual world, we could now create mixed reality global celebrations. The pandemic had revealed the key to uniting the world.
The next step is to host multiple DDPs at ETH Denver 2021, an extremely fun and 100% free blockchain conference held in virtual space. This will also be the release of our Peace Bond NFTs. Join us as we co-create the open source revolution and lay the foundations for a future that will maximize freedom, creation, and loving connection.
So that is starting tomorrow, ETH Denver 2021.
Yep, we're doing the opening party. Starts 8 p.m. Pacific time, which is might be past your bedtime. 11 p.m. You still be up?
Might just be waking up. This, all these NFTs coming out the past couple days, and yeah, there's no time to sleep. Crypto doesn't sleep, man. At least the stock markets, they get to go home and, it takes the night off. Crypto never takes the night off, doesn't take a weekend, not a holiday. So a decentralized dance party. You're using those FM transmitters, which when I was first experiencing a DDP, I it was just like one of those things. I'm like, why doesn't everybody do this? This is amazing. I remember when I was in high school, we used to do it to our bus driver all the time because there was like one of these like Spy Kid toys from Toys R Us or whatever, and you could just like hack an FM channel or whatever and make it. So we would just play like Little Wayne or something, and have the bus driver like what I was just listening to the news, the weather or just happened. And we would do it all the time to our poor bus driver. And here you are doing it in like a flash mob kind of a way. Was there a before the FM transmitter like method?
Well, it all started. I had this old boombox that was just a cassette player, so it had inputs for a CD player. And got my first iPod like 2004 or something in a bank promotion, and we started plugging it in like the old iPod shuffle, and just taking this boombox everywhere. Like it was pretty revolutionary to have a boombox without just a cassette or a CD that would skip. And then yeah, one night we had two boomboxes strapped to our bikes. The iPods died, so we tuned them to the same radio station, and it made a really awesome distributed sound effect. And then that was the eureka moment where it was like, why don't we get our own transmitter and 100 boom boxes and create the coolest party ever? And we've been doing our best to create that. And yeah, it's been, when we were starting out, I was like, man, someone must have done this before. Like, there's no way this
Right.
hasn't been done, but I still
And yeah,
haven't
it
found it.
blows my mind that I haven't found it other than the DDP's utility of this. And yet I see like hundreds of thousands of dollars being invested to like silent discos and sweaty headphones that people are sharing. And I'm just like, really, there's so many better ways. There's so many other things. And it's just, it's kind of funny to see, like I've been to a DDP. The experience is unrelatable in words. That's the thing. That's kind of, I feel like, the hardest part of like promoting a DDP is because it's like it is almost undescribable. You have to experience it, and then after experiencing it's gonna have a million different people that it can explain the way that they experience it, so it's not all the same.
Decentralized.
Right on. Like I start at the beginning. I was there with you guys. I was helping put batteries into boom boxes. But then I seen people eating at restaurants at a street side, table and just got up and started dancing and walked a few blocks and realized they had to run back and pay their tab, and that's what I like. Their stories are so different than mine about like what their experience of a DDP was, because they're like 100 random people just ran by dancing, and I just fell into it and I couldn't resist.
Yeah, it's pretty. I didn't even fully understand it until I ended up being in the middle of, there was like this hockey riot here 9 years ago,
Oof.
and I was like, it
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, that's right. You're in Canada. That sounds like a hockey ride. We have those with basketball over here, baseball maybe.
yeah, no, it's all about the hockey up here.
So
But
you had
yeah,
a hockey ride.
yeah. Um, Longer story, but yeah, I was in the middle of this thing, and like it was crazy. Like I'd heard of hive mind and groupthink before, but I'd never experienced it really. And it was like 80, 90% of the people there were just transformed into this like organism, collective like consciousness organism that just wanted to destroy everything. It was like a switch got flipped. It was really creepy and insane.
It's
And I
probably like the
realized,
opposite feeling of what I felt at the decentralized dance party. Because you're
yeah,
right, it is sort of like seeing a hive mind grow right before your eyes.
yeah, it's like there's a new normal, a new social normal, and people just kind of automatically become a part of this thing, but you don't notice because everyone's happy and having a good time.
Do
So
you do
it's
any other like flash mob esque things, or have you done like a flash mob before there was flash mobs? Like, I feel like that's what a DDP was like before flash mobs were flash mobs, or was it a thing already? Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, I think they kind of started early 2000s, like when social media was becoming a thing. But yeah, there was lots of funny ones in Vancouver, like the original zombie walks and like naked bike rides and stuff. So
I
we did
remember,
all
yeah, the
that.
naked bike rides. You did that? You actually, yeah. So you did do some of the early flash mob stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was fun.
So that had to inspire a little bit of the DDP stuff, right? Because it is like when I first got the vibes, like this is a flash mob. To me, it's organized because I'm on the inside. I see it. I was like, hey, we're doing this thing. But to like all the people that genuinely lived in the area that we all traveled to had zero clue what was about to happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. We call it the evolution of the flash mob because, like, usually with those, it's like a flash. It's like just this thing happens kind of chaotically for a few minutes or more. But this is like this could go 10 hours, and you've got the music and the decentralized sound system. So it's a flash mob that can go
I've seen the nodes break off too, man.
hours.
At the end, you never know. There's people that are probably still partying from a DDP right now. They just didn't stop. They're still doing it. There's a group of people somewhere because they just break off into these nodes, and you end up seeing them like 2 days later, and you're like, "Oh crap, you're still in your pajamas dancing around too." Okay, I'm not the only one.
It's not unlikely, or at least in their hearts, they got inspired by what might be possible in terms of public partying. So
Right on.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty neat the ripple effects that this thing has had over the years. Especially
Well, have you seen any like mainstream ripple effects? Like, has anybody from like the mainstream reached out? Because I was surprised that I haven't seen something like this orchestrated around like a Dead Mouse concert or some, like that.
yeah, surprisingly, I haven't seen anything really. Like it's insane to like you have to be pretty crazy to spend like a lot of time and money just finding old boom boxes. That's like hundreds of hours to find them and fix them, and then you got to buy all the batteries and
Well, that's why I figured they would just
build a
reach out to you.
transmitter.
Why would they start that process? They would just hire the DDP to come, promote the Dead Mouse concert. You start the DDP in, Center City and you end at the concert hall at Dead Mouse or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much potential. I'm surprised that I haven't seen something like this utilized for that.
There's been a little bit of like we've had offers to do some crazy stuff, I guess. Like Coke Zero reached out, I don't know, 6 years ago.
That's pretty cool.
Well, they're like, we want to do this broadcast all over Europe, and we want you to be brand ambassadors for Coke Zero. We are
Oh,
like, yeah, that's not really what this is about.
right.
And I mean, yeah, it's like the idea is that this is a pure open source party concept. It's not a sales pitch for anything. It's just about unifying humanity. So it's not about promoting some
So the DDP isn't
potentially,
trademarked or patented.
well, the idea is that it's kind of like Burning Man. So you have
Respect.
this defensively patented organization. So you just if someone is compromising the culture, you can say, hey. But ideally, it's all self-governing, and we haven't had an issue with any of
So
that stuff.
nothing stopped Coke Zero from doing something like that themselves. They just didn't do it because they couldn't get you to do it.
Yeah,
They could have. They should have.
I
They're
mean they
lost.
could have, but I mean the thing too with this is it's like to do a DDP right. Like we never get permits because it's this crazy spontaneous roaming thing. Like to get like permits and insurance and permission and all the stuff you'd need normally to do anything. It's like it just becomes like a boring parade where it's like, oh, you can go straight down this one street.
Yeah, I've been
You'll have
to
a police escort
five
and everything.
DDPs, and my favorite DDP memory of the five is in Portugal. When at three different encounters throughout Portugal, Porto, Portugal, probably like a mile apart, like you had to deal with the cops, And the way that was handled was like at the end of the conversation, everyone was like, "All right, get start partying." I'm like, did they just like say start partying? Like, what have you said to them? But I mean, I feel like they see it, they get it, and I don't know. It's just I think you're doing it right that way. I think I've seen those encounters and the way they're handled and the way that just like what a DDP can do for that neighborhood at that time in that moment, like they get it. They totally get it.
Yeah, I think it's something like that hive mind where it's something that's just like felt and they're like we should allow this to happen generally.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, it's funny. People at some point they started calling me the cop whisperer because it's just something like I don't even know what happens. We usually end up dealing with the police in these parties.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been wondering for over a year what you said to that guy. The three different times. I'm like, how is this? I need to know the tricks. I get stopped way too often.
I don't think they even spoke English either, but I don't
Right,
know.
right. They
Just tell
spoke
them.
dance though, and that is a universal language.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, you just tell them everything's okay. This isn't a threat. We're just doing this to bring people together and have a good time.
Dude, we got on a
That's
train
it.
and started taking over an entire subway. Every single, I don't even know if everybody made it on the first trip. Every single cart was full of people. And the people that were already on the train that had no clue what was happening was probably one of my favorite memories of a dude sitting there in his suit on his way home from a long ass day at work. He ain't getting home till 2 a.m. from the office, and he just like wants to go home. And a flash mob is something like straight out of the movie Warriors, but like disco vibe. And
Yeah.
it's come out and dance. And I just saw the dude he just started moving. I'm like, yes, yes, bro. Tap out of that 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah,
It was
and
so great.
nothing needs to be spoken or explained. It's just like this intrinsically beautiful human force for unification. And
Well,
we always, uh,
we do have something that we do need to explain, and I want to get to that with the peace bonds. What is sort of like the purpose of the peace bonds before we get into like what they are? Maybe like what inspired the peace bonds and what their purpose it serves in the mission of peace.
so I guess in the video it explained at some point on our journey, I think a few years in, we saw how powerful these parties were for unifying humanity anywhere we went, all across Canada and the US. Just like, wow, again, this is this amazing force for unifying the world. And then it was like, well, the next logical step is to do these all over the world, do a world tour, activate people everywhere, and even in like war zones, disaster zones, places where you have this crazy division, use the party to unify people. And then we figured if we do that, we would win the Nobel Prize for partying. And then, yeah, I know the exact eureka moment was I was doing this interview to talk about Dogecoin like in 2014, and I just had this thought. I was like, man, buying Doge is like the modern equivalent of buying war bonds, except it's peace bonds. So like war bonds is how they used to raise money to fight a war. So I was like, if we could just sell a bunch of these peace bonds, ideally denominated in Doge, to raise money to do this tour, that would be pretty sweet. And then when we won the Nobel Prize, everyone gets paid back. So it's just like short-term loan to help us make this happen. And yeah, that was 7 years ago, and been kind of working on the idea, wanting to launch ever since then. And now everything's finally aligning. Just took 7 years. So yeah,
Well, I mean, it's not
so
like
it's
you
time.
just woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to make a shit coin. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to buy a Lambo. No, you've been thinking about this for 7 years, trying to figure out how to make the world a better place in a way that everybody can contribute. And I've kind of, the past few months, been throwing that out there to people saying, like, if we're all aware that rising tides raise all ships, then why don't all the ships try to raise the tide and throw a little bit of, something in the water? And I feel like that is what Doge is, though. It is a peaceful protest. It's the equivalent of the Boston Tea Party event, right? Like, we're taking our fiat and we're throwing it into the harbor of Doge, and we're saying we're done with this stuff.
Peaceful protest is a great way to frame it.
That's how it feels like. I mean, that's what I've always felt like when it comes to crypto in general. I kind of got into Bitcoin because
Yeah.
I didn't want to work 9 to 5 and have fractional reserve banking take that money 10 times over and use it to have people that I don't know murdered by people. Just didn't want to participate in that. As many levels that I could detach myself from that as possible, I wanted to achieve. And it started with I'm just not going to accept US dollar for my time, good, or services anymore. Okay, that works.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was a lot of people's on ramp. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even realize. I think there's Roger Ver laid it out very simply once. He's like, if you look at Bitcoin or crypto, you're not going to get it unless you understand what open source is and how the monetary system works. And then you see, oh, this is like the most revolutionary technology
Well,
since
to see Doge
agriculture.
exposing that, exploit exactly to the T, it's got to be pretty self fulfilling of a prophecy of Dogecoin itself.
Yeah, like money has never been fun before. No one's ever built a community around using like US or Canadian dollars. It's just this thing that's there. That's, if you understand how the system works, it's basically just a funnel for the 1% of the 1% to receive all the interest as the central bank loans it out to the governments. So
Well, we have like
this is
government appointed
a whole
currencies,
new
but
time.
now we're doing like self-appointed tribal currencies. Like the
That's a good
Doge
term.
tribe, exactly. I mean, the Doge tribe currency is by far the best tribe currency.
Yeah.
And it is tribal. They're all tribal. It's like, looking at coin market cap, sort of like looking at a high school yearbook. And you can see all the groups of the jocks and the nerds and it's all, there's such a cluster of all the tribes. And then they have their inner maximalists inside of those tribes. I think Doge though is almost like borderless. Like everybody, even like the XRP army is like pumping into Doge. I mean, it's one of those things that actually has found a way to cross maximalism bridges that I haven't seen any other thing do yet. Like I haven't even seen NFTs really be able to achieve that whole anti-tribal cross bridge mentality, but Doge has done that and it's doing it with fiats now outside of the US dollar. Other countries are seeing what Doge has done on Robinhood and what Robinhood has done to people, and there's like, the same thing with like GameStop and the other stocks that they're doing it to. And I don't know, just to see the whole world is coming together with Doge right now. It's
Yeah.
it's like such a surreal timing for the peace bonds to be coming out right now. It's like the universe has literally like said, "Hey, bro, like this is the time."
Yeah, it's like the perfect confluence of everything. It's like all-time highs, Doge going crazy, NFTs breaking out,
Yep.
and we got everything lined up to actually do crazy global parties through Zoom. But yeah, I mean, I've had the Doge, like I've been repping this thing as hard as I could since 2013, and like it was never, I mean, it was always a joke, but it was never a joke. I was like, the way this resonates, like with almost everyone I've met and how much fun we've had with it. And it's like completely disarming. Like Bitcoin's cool, whatever, but this is like, as soon as you see this, like you're feeling good, and it goes deep. Like Doge spelled backwards is EGOD, or ego D, ego death. So tribalism is just collective ego. So this is the way to break that and to unify humanity. And the Doge is also a female, so perfect representative of the transition from hierarchical, patriarchal pyramid systems to a new decentralized world that is fun.
Do you think the Egyptians would have worshipped Dogecoin? Because they were like really into dogs.
Were they? I thought they were into the cats.
Were they? I thought they had like the were they? Yeah, I know what they were really big cats, weren't they?
I don't know.
I feel like I've seen the statues of dogs and like Egyptian stuff, and now that you said the cats, I'm like maybe they were cats.
We do have some of these peace bonds look somewhat Egyptian.
Oh, can we see them? Can you show us?
Betcha.
Oh, we're gonna get to see the art for the peace bonds. So how many peace bonds are there?
So we've been just figuring out the right breakdown of the denominations. This isn't everything here, but so it's all broken down into, there's 8 different denominations, so you can see it, right?
Yeah. I'm just like really taking it in,
This
looking
is
at the. Is that a Dogerger? I know, like, is a Liger or something? Is it?
I don't know. My good friend Tana created the art, and she just kind of went wild. So it's some sort of an ornate Doge with a moon, and this is just the preliminary ones. These aren't the final designs.
All I know is if this hit the table of John Hancock, he's signing it. This looks legit.
Well, Tom and Gary signed it, so hopefully that's good enough. But yeah,
for me.
This is the $100 one, bronze, silver. This is the more Egyptian flair. She went totally wild on this one. It will be changing. That's the $1,000 bond. 10,000, 5,000. I think this is my favorite. Super cool. 50,000, and there's 100,000, which is a moon rock, and there's also, if anyone's watching this, launching tomorrow night at the DDP, we're gonna have the $10 ones, but there's only 263 of the $10 ones.
Okay, so what's?
I feel like they're gonna be the most sought after.
Right, for sure. So I was just saying, is there a mint limit on the other ones as well for like the $100 or more?
Yeah, just let me. I got a breakdown here.
Because there's only 260 of the $10 ones tomorrow. Yeah.
That's the plan, at least.
I want to make sure I at least get one of them. And you're doing this at Denver, right?
Yeah.
Is it ETH Denver or ETH Denver?
I don't know.
Me
After
neither.
all my years in crypto, I don't know if it's ETH or ETH, but
I feel like Vitalik told me,
whatever.
and then I forgot. But I'm pretty sure I did ask him in at the Crypto Chicks thing that he did with his mom or whatever.
Well, let's ask him again. He's going to be there.
Yeah, I will. That's definitely the question I want to get in line to ask. Is like, yo, is it ETH or ETH? I forgot.
He probably doesn't care.
He probably forgot too. That's gonna be the best part. Anyway, wait, buy war bonds. Is that actually an image from like the war bond propaganda stuff, or is that like original art?
Pretty cool photo. This is like World War II. I think it's American, and this is just the ddp.com/peace bonds landing page. So there was this war bond image, and then my good friend Stephanie, she translated it into this beautiful Doge. Like she made this in 2014. So
oh wow,
we've been waiting 7 years to do this thing. And then
talk about it should be an NFT. That should be an NFT. 2014.
Yeah, at some point we'll make these into, maybe airdrop these to the peace bond holders.
Respect. That would be awesome. The peace bond holders getting some airdrops.
Oh yeah, and the peace bond is also a ticket to the movie premiere. So this is the poster.
Wait, is this you in a poster with Tom?
Yes.
All right. My next question Is this green screen or did you actually find a field like that?
Yeah, it was. Where were we? I think we were on our way to like it was Asheville, North Carolina. This was what's it called? Some random state. We were just driving by this farmer field, and Sarah, the photographer, was like, "That looks like a good spot for a photo." So we pulled
Yeah,
over,
it
and there was this
does.
farmer and like his combine or whatever. And we're like, "Hey, will you take a photo of us in your field?" And then we just took it, and it was perfect.
So you actually had a human tripod. Random
Yeah,
stranger took this photo. I love that.
I forgot that story. But yeah, every piece of this thing has a story behind it.
Well,
Pretty
good.
funny.
A good thing I like to ask a lot of really off the topic questions that segue conversations into taking forever to get to the point. But the journey's the point of the whole thing. So, what
Hmm.
is that? Is that wait?
So
I
this,
feel like that is that from Max. What's that movie?
yeah,
Mad Max. It looks like Mad Max.
yeah. So someone sent us this before the movie had even come out, and they're like, "Look at this," and we're like, "Whoa, that is the vision." Like this is. So the idea is to win the Nobel Prize, and then during our acceptance speech, propose that all the governments of the world allocate probably 10% of their defense budgets to partying for the next year, just to see what would happen. So that's like $200 billion dedicated to this sort of thing, like advanced party architecture to host the most amazing unifying party the world has ever seen. And yeah, just imagine like that's, I don't know, $500,000. So that times however many thousand it would be.
Yeah,
But
but
just like,
that's a traveling concert. I mean, that's exactly what that is peak DDP right there.
yeah, and I mean, we've already got all the art cars from Burning Man. All this stuff is just sitting there ready to activate the world. And I mean, this might seem crazy, but how crazy is it that we're spending $2 trillion a year on all these weapons just to harm each other? Like, we just need a better narrative. And
Yeah.
the Doge is inspiring us forward. This is a really good quote, too, with MLK. Those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. And we're starting to see that with the Doge. Like, it's basically this
Yep.
self-organizing phenomenon where everyone's like, yeah, like let's buy Doge, let's have a good time, let's make these memes, let's do Doge parties, let's just
Well, yeah, it's
build the
fighting war
community.
with love. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, it's a total game changer. Oh, here's the so this is the $10 peace bond.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's gonna be. I can see that. I want it. Give me one. Can I get one now?
Sure, I'll
so
reserve the first one for you.
which blockchain are you using to mint these on for the people that are watching so they know, where to go and pick one of these up and be ready for it?
Yeah, well, it's been that's how we reconnected. It's been this insane journey. I was a month ago. I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make the bonds. I'll go on Rarible and just upload the art." And I went to do it, and it was gonna be like $100 to mint based on ETH gas fees. And I was like, "Man, we can't be spending $100 to make a $10 bond." So then, yeah, I just started reaching out to all my lovely crypto friends and talked to you. And yeah, thanks for all the help. True Doge, asking nothing in return, just trying to boost the community.
That's what I'm here for. Anybody that needs me, I try to be there, And you like, dude, what you've done with the DDP is like a part of who I am now. Like for real. Like seriously. Like I say this to people all the time, but before Dogecoin, I was like a person, and then I forked. I just like I was Bitcoin. Now I'm Bitcoin Cat. I forked at
Soft
that
fork?
event. Yeah, dude, a soft fork of my soul, and it was beautiful, and I'm grateful for it. So, anything I can do to even think that I could help give one person that experience at a DDP, I am honored to just be able to be like, you know, a part of it in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do a shout out to you. Like, it's been great. Like, within crypto, there's been a lot of scammers and greedful folks and bad vibes, but you're just out there, like, not caring about the money, not caring about getting rich, just giving away NFTs all day and talking to anyone and helping anyone and
That's what it was always
in
all
it for the
about.
love. It's,
Yeah, I got in it for love, you know, and I think the price has changed a lot of that for people. I was talking about that to somebody where, uh, I think um, I think David Gokhshtein tweeted it out where it's like, he kind of even mentioned like, this whole Doge thing is like a peaceful protest, revolutionary. I'm like, dude, that was what Bitcoin was until it broke $1,000, and then ever since then, Bitcoin lost that. It's like that Alice in Wonderland moment where the Mad Hatter tells Alice, "You lost your muchness." Bitcoin lost its muchness because it gained too much. I do worry about that with Doge. Even a dollar could lose its muchness because money changes not just people, but it changes everything.
I feel like the Doge is uncorruptible.
I hope so. I want to believe that. I feel like I'm too of a
It's
realist and I'm afraid of our enemies more than I probably should be. The enemies are the bankers. Those that can print the currency that, is accepted for the currency that we have to mine for. It's not fair trade.
I mean, yeah, ideally, even I think everyone has a soul deep down somewhere, and the Doge
Well, this is how we
is
can prove
broken.
it. Buy a
Yeah,
peace
this is
bond, hodl it, and then we can see through that chain analysis all those people, and I think that's what's going to be really cool is the way NFTs work. Nobody can really stop somebody from looking at that NFT series and saying, I would like to reward these people for their efforts. And I've seen it done with random things that have no clue that other people are giving stuff to their community members for whatever reasons. And that's what I think is awesome with the NFT stuff, and especially seeing that with the Doge community. And I know that we haven't got a chance to answer the question I actually asked, but yeah, we're going to be using Wax, which I am very excited to be doing like a Wax NFT for Doge. Like, that's going to be awesome. Or the Doge community, I should say.
hmm But yeah, in terms of the Doge, yeah, it's definitely been watching the price go wild. Definitely makes me a little concerned about people getting in for the wrong reasons. I think it'll sort itself out, but yeah, for a while I've been wanting to start some kind of Doge Foundation, something to. I don't think it's corruptible, but I'd like to definitely be involved in helping
Well, like Martin
sure
Luther
that it.
King said, man, you have to be as, dedicated. I can't remember the quote, but it made me feel like I was right about this. Like you have to be as strategic as the enemies or whatever, right? And
As organized.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, dude. You just said it like 2 minutes ago, and it was like in one ear, out the other. And I think it was because it was an old dead guy that said it, and it wasn't like a relevant millennial. I swear, if Justin Bieber said it, I would never forget it.
but yeah, I think that's the thing. Like you see it with Burning Man. It's all about like establishing a culture that's as uncorruptible as possible. And the Doge automatically did that. Like it was from the start. Like parties, sending the Jamaican bobsled team to the Olympics, community.
Yes, the
It
NASCAR
was
sponsorship that
yeah.
was pretty doge. Like that was like what caught my attention very early on to crypto. Like I like remember, talking about Bitcoin in 2015 and stuff. I'm like, wait, I swear, there's a coin thing, and it was Dogecoin. I seen it, I know, and it was like that was actually like that subliminal marketing Easter egg kind of a thing for me with crypto. Because the more I got into Bitcoin, was like the more I was familiar with Dogecoin already. Like I knew the Shiba. I seen this meme. It's been there. I turned the corner and I'm like, wait, wasn't that on a poster? Yeah, it's that has been there this whole time. And I think that, it's sort of like Doge is sort of like dosing your friend at a party. You know what I mean? Like the way people are getting into Doge right now, it's like involuntary red pilling. They're going to maybe come in for those potential wrong reasons because of the Robinhood pump and dumps. But I
Yeah.
think that they're going to stick around for the community that they found.
Yeah, stay for the good times. But yeah, I was just remembering too, like I think a lot of people left the Doge community back in the day. There was that weird moolah scam thing. I forget all the details, but
Well,
definitely
I
it's
do want to
endured.
cover the that elephant in the room of like the whole like promise and potential of the peace bonds and getting the Nobel Prize, using the money to pay people back. Like I this is all in good fun and lightheartedness and in good spirit and great intention, but I do think of like the jerks that are gonna like, you know what I mean, try to be jerks about it, and like 20 years from now, because like the goal wasn't met, and 20 years from now, since the goal wasn't met, that there was never like a, and and then I'm just worried someone's gonna try to hold you like accountable for like not being able to reach the goals of these things, and I hope that you've considered some of those situations.
Yeah, I mean, every time we do a party in public, it could result in disaster. So just kind of go for it with good intentions and trust that the universe will work things out, and that's worked so far. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's no like, I mean, the guarantee is that we'll pay people back when we win the prize, which we will do. There's no, I mean, if someone's like, you haven't won the prize yet, it'll be like, maybe not, but my life is dedicated to this and we're going to do it.
I
And
could damn near guarantee, if I could put the money in your hand today, that in 1 year's time of preparation, there would be a like insane global. I guarantee it. You've been doing this for a decade. You are the person to do this exact thing. Like, there's nobody else in the world that could do it. It's just you and Tom. You guys can do this.
I believe it.
I do too.
No
Like,
jokes.
genuinely. No, like seriously, I'm not. If we can help the DDP raise those funds, I genuinely believe that the whole entire world will be able to have a soul soft forking experience, and it'll be great for all chains.
Definitely. And I mean, when we win it a second time, I will gladly send that money to all the peace bondholders again. So everyone could double their money. Plus, I mean, I don't want anyone buying these things just being like, oh, I'm going to make money on it. Like
Now, I,
what
I
we've
tell
been
people
seeing
on
with
Twitter all the
NFTs.
time, man, if you don't love me, do not buy my NFTs.
Yeah.
It's
But
got
yeah, I
to be out
mean,
of love.
we'll see like with NFTs, like secondary markets definitely form. So I think these are going to become like collectible, sought after art, and the higher value ones we're going to print them out. So it's going to be like an image you can have on your wall. And there's those cool digital picture frames you showed me.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Zen Vibes digital picture frames and the infinite objects and a bunch of different things.
This
They're
is the.
gonna
Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's just a bunch of different ways now that you can physically hold your NFTs and appreciate them. That's why I'm excited. Because if I could even grab a couple different of these peace bonds, I could put that on one of those infinite objects, and I could have my bonds NFTs in my hand physically, which is pretty badass.
Absolutely. I want to get some of those frames. And yeah, I'm going to have some of these on my walls. Can you see this here, the breakdown?
Yeah, so it says 263 of the $10 bonds, 1,000 of the $100 bonds, 500 of the $300 bonds, 100 gold bonds that are $1,000 each. Platinum is 5 grand and there's only 30. Emeralds 15 at 10 grand. Diamonds 5 limited to 50,000. And then we have a moonstone, which I think that is genius. Moonstone is definitely pinnacle, and it's at 100,000 at a one of one mint.
Yes. All credit goes to Britt Witt for the Moonstone idea.
It's a good name. I approve that. That's a genius, cherry on the top there.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm not a calculator. What's the math on all that if they all sold out?
So I just started bronze to moonstone. That equals 1 million. So it was like 1,650 bonds, but I wanted to get to 1914 because it's this magical number. That's the year of the Christmas truce, where there was like trench warfare going on, and then Christmas Day, 1914, party broke out between the Germans and the British, and basically in the middle of this crazy, deadly war zone, a party, and these parties started forming up and down the lines. Apparently, it's like one of the coolest moments in human history, where partying turned the tide, and I think it would have been the end of the war, but the generals caught wind of it and ordered everyone back into the trenches and said, "We're gonna kill you if you don't keep fighting." So, very
Yeah, yeah, we're
hopeful
your
story.
friend and we'll kill you if you don't kill that stranger. But that's
Don't
because
ask
I'm your
questions.
friend.
Yeah, trust us. So then I
You're right though.
added
1914
paper
is a
ones.
perfect number.
Yeah. So that's where we got the 263. Just had to add those to bump it up.
Well, at least it gave
And
some of us a $10 option to get in, and it gives me now I could at least see like, all right, so for $420, I could get a silver, bronze, and two paper.
that sounds perfect.
It does to me.
And that's only like half an ETH right now.
Right on, man. Exactly. I mean, shoot, back when, I grabbed my ETH, it was like $5. So let's go.
Let's go. And then yeah, this number, that's the Roman numeral for 1914, and you see it in the
MC
bonds.
Miser. That would be
Right
like a rapper's
here on
name.
the final ones. Miss Smiv, yeah. MC
Definitely.
mix of
Yeah, MC Mixo, exactly.
yeah,
It's like a rapper's name in Roman numerals. I like
definitely.
actually really like that $10 piece bond. Like the it reminds me of that Twerky Bro I just did with the Twerky Pepe collab. Like the just the rainbow transition of color that it's doing. I love it.
Yeah. These other ones will be animated too. This is just the first one that's been done. Hot off the press.
I don't think
Yeah.
these people. Oh shit, Twerky Pepe's in the chat. I didn't see you there. This is awkward now. Hi, I was just talking about you.
Fair.
Um, yeah. So what I'm excited though, and this is what I'm super proud. Like this is my ROI on it. Like you're like, oh, Ken didn't even ask for anything. I'm like, haha, but I do because I am greedy and you don't even know it. I get to mint wax NFTs with you, and you're gonna go talk about them at ETH Denver? Yeah, I just won. I just won the internet. I won NFTs. I won 2021, and that's what I'm excited for because you couldn't do this on Ethereum. It's not that it's not possible. It's just impossible. It's not feasible. And now that you can do this with the wax, with those $10 ones, $100 ones, and not have to spend so much to do it, it's just I'm hoping other people see the opportunities that other blockchains have to offer. Ethereum is amazing in its own right, and it will always have the benefits of being Ethereum over other blockchains. But if you want to do cool stuff like a peace bond, probably going to be better off using wax. At least for now. 2.0, who knows?
It
2.0 could
is
definitely change the game.
it is odd. I had this very strange feeling in my gut when I mentioned the wax
But
stuff
isn't
earlier.
that sort of like the 1914 vibe, though, right? Like, this could get Ethereum to finally be friends with other blockchains and put down their weapons and just dance with another blockchain.
Yeah, I mean ideally
Their tribalism
all
is so
blockchains.
thick.
Is it?
It is so thick, man.
Uh-oh. That's no
So,
good.
right, that's what
But
I'm like
yeah.
excited for. But that's the thing. Doge has broken that whole like tribal border thing, and I think that doing this with Wax will do the same. I think we could keep breaking down those borders in the tribes, and we could just have one community of crypto, just crypto. Why is it got to be Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash versus Ethereum versus Tron versus XY. It's just, we don't have to be fighting each other. We should just be, interoperability. It'll go a long way.
Yeah, all the tribalism stuff. That's definitely been the most disappointing thing within this scene or any scene. Just people dividing into their groups and basing their identity on one thing and disrespecting the other groups. Like, it's all.
Oh, I see Yuki and Oaks. Hi, I love you both. They're in the chat. Twerky says go collab. Twerky, Gary DDP collab. Twerky Pepe DDP. Yeah, do that. Yes. That would be awesome. Maybe you guys can do some collab and airdrop the collab to the people who buy peace bonds.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
I think the airdropping thing is the best part. I mean, I love that about it. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Even if you can't, I'm going to do it. Anybody that gets a peace bond, I'm going to see who has one. And I can just send them stuff. And other people can do the same thing. So we could all, like, it's sort of like when you see somebody put $1 in, like, the donation jar or whatever when they barely had enough to pay for their meal, and they still donated their, like, last dollar on the way out of the store or whatever. And, like, it's like that motivates people. That pay it forward mentality really, like, it shows. And I think other people are going to be like, look, you got a peace bond, like, you're part of, like, that part of the community. Let me give back to you as well. Like, and I think that's where you get people paying for somebody's meal at McDonald's drive-thru. Like, oh, whatever the guy behind me ordered, yeah, put that on my card. And then the guy behind them does the same thing, and then the same thing, and then the same thing. And the next thing you know, when you go to watch the news, nobody has paid for their own food in 2 days because they're always paying for the person behind them now. And this could change that with NFTs. I really see that power.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the possibilities, like, for stuff like universal basic income, voluntary style. It could be like everyone has a peace bond, is like a DDP node leader around the world, and then people that want to donate can just instantly send that support out to assist. So
yeah, I mean, dude, since we're using
wax,
that's the crazy possibilities are, since we're using wax, there is a eventual possibility, right, where there could be an NFT pool and people could stake their peace bonds and earn something from it. Could be DDP coin, could be XYZ, doesn't matter. But even you don't have to set that up. Somebody will just build those things, like these pools. I've seen that happen with other NFT collections where just random projects build a pool and you're like, hey, you can stake your NFTs over here, guys, and earn this coin we created out of nowhere, and people do it. So I think it will be sort of, it has the potential to be a catalyst for a community grassroots universal basic income metric.
Yeah, it's crazy to see all the stuff people have built in the last 7 years or whatever. Like, I remember when coin market cap was like 7 coins and they were just basic coins, and now you've got thousands and all these exotic, bizarre, like, financial instruments and NFTs, this whole giant, insane, unstoppable ecosystem of everything. And, like, it's super neat. And yeah, just learning about NFTs the last 3 weeks and seeing all the potential for, like, totally rewiring any notions of copyright, like what bands, what musicians, filmmakers, anyone can do.
Oh, that picture you showed me earlier, I mean, the cynical side of me is like, yeah, prove that was made in 2014. The cynical side of me is like, prove it. I'm still thinking about it. That's how that's how cynical I am. But, like, with crypto, with NFTs, my cynicalness can be put at ease. With one click, I can just be like, boop, oh, wow, that was minted in 2014. Quick little reverse image shirts on the blockchain. Oh, nothing else was minted like this prior? Okay, cool. This was the original. Like, that sets me at ease in so many ways that doesn't even make sense. It's just...
Oh yeah, this is what I've been as a filmmaker my whole life. Like I've been waiting for alternate copyright system. So you can anytime you create something, you can register it on the blockchain and have like a receiving address, and then if anyone appreciates your work forever, they can just be donating, supporting, learning who made it,
Yeah, one of my
rewarding
friends
everyone
helped
for
me
their
with something
creativity.
in wax, and I staked like 2 grand worth of wax to their pool. I'm just like, thanks, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I really appreciated that help. And it's just like, I can now just stake and you earn for it. I think that's really cool. And that's the thing I think
It's
more and more people are going to do within their own communities. And this is the type of stuff, I think somebody's going to be inspired by what you're doing, and you're going to see like a Tom and Gary in Asia, a Tom and Gary in Europe, and you're going to see people see this and say, you know what? If more of us do this, it can be done too. Like if there's more than just these two guys, this is more possible. And I
yeah.
think you could inspire more people to kind of pick up the torch a little bit because of just proof of concept. Look what I've done. Follow my like steps, and because you've taken those steps, there's a trail to follow.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal of the documentary and the DDP field manual is just to inspire as many Christmas truces as possible around the world without losing the culture. Like, been very carefully guiding what this thing is and what it's all about so it doesn't lose the magic over the years. And yeah, I'm
To
glad it's taken
me,
this long to
to
scale it.
me, tomorrow is our 1914 when Eth Denver sees the DDP launching a Wax NFT, and they FOMO for a Wax NFT because they put down their differences of their tribalistic and like what you're on so many levels, bro. What you're doing is amazing, and I don't even know if you see it because you're so inside of like the moment, and it's just like I don't know. I genuinely appreciate you, man. Like, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, we should probably talk about the weird feeling I had earlier when we mentioned wax because I've always my only dedication is to the Doge. And we made a video about this in 2014. I was like, it's got to be on the Doge blockchain. And then there was Doge Party, which was kind of like Counterparty, starting to be developed. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what we got to use. And that didn't quite pan out. But now Doge is bridged with Ethereum, and I mean Wax. Apparently, there's going to be a bridge
There is a bridge
very
already.
soon, but I don't know. I feel like
No,
this
there is
needs
a
to
bridge,
be.
man. There is. People are bringing their crypto kitties over to Wax already. It's
Oh,
happening.
really?
Yeah, it's
Well,
happening.
then we're good.
Yes, exactly. The
As long as it's somehow
interoperability.
all, as long as we're bridged to Doge, that changes everything.
Interoperability will make everything all one thing. All rivers will go to the same ocean.
I
That's
do
that's how
feel that
I
way.
eventually see it, man. I'm so excited that's this is all the beginning of that though, right? Like that's these currents, the people in those rivers pushing into that wall and getting to the ocean together, man. And just picking up a peace bond is one way to help us all get there, and I'm proud to be a part of it in the way I am. I definitely want to get my hands on a few of them, at least the three. I mean, because four of them, because
420.
420.
That's
God, I
you.
mean, just gotta do it, and I want to do it too. And I have zero interest on like flipping them or selling them for whatever. But I do think it would be cool to see me an opportunity arise that I could stake these peace bonds and just like kind of have some kind of a pool built around this and a reward system. It could all be done, and somebody will be inspired to build on top of what you're doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, what you're doing is just layer one. What happens next is completely decentralized and out of your control.
Yeah. How for viewers at home who may not, I mean, I don't even know exactly how staking works. Like, what would that look like?
There's a project out right now called Our Planet. And basically, what you could do is allocate your NFTs to them. They reward you with their own in house currency that then you can trade to get stuff with, right? So it's like a rewarded. It's almost like providing liquidity in a sense
Yeah.
on like Uniswap, but now we're doing things like that with NFTs.
So it's like the value of the
See,
NFT.
that's where it gets weird. I'm not 100% sure, man, because that moves so much and mint numbers matter. And yeah, it is weird. So it's like it's so new. I haven't had a chance to really dive into it. And I told them, shout out to Our Planet, by the way. I have no problem promoting things that work. I just don't have the time to really dive into it and learn it. But if they want to make me my own little Ken Bozak, NFT pool, then I will have all the reason to put a 10-hour workday aside and make sure I know every inner workings of Our Planet. But yeah, there's people that are doing this with NFT collections that have been out for about a year now. Like blockchain heroes, and they're staking their blockchain heroes. They're earning, some cryptocurrency from Our Planet, and they don't have to buy and sell their NFTs to kind of get something out of just holding them. And that's because somebody built a reward system just for hodlers.
Yeah, it's wild just seeing all the creativity unlocked, especially with NFTs. And Griff had a good quote. We were talking a few weeks ago, and I was trying to figure all this stuff out. And he's like, "You used to need an army to create a currency. Now you just need a couple nerds." Like, it's crazy how much this.
That is the new army, though.
It is.
There are one-man armies.
Don't mess with the nerds, because they will get organized and they got nothing else to do, so they're coming for you.
Wall Street found out real quick.
Oh yeah, I can't believe it took this long for like games.
Well, I mean,
like, how did people not rally and?
What I'm thinking of is we're watching Revenge of the Nerds 4 right now. Like, this is Revenge of the Nerds 4 when they're in their 40s, out, they've been out of college, their kids are in college, their son's mining Bitcoin. Like, this Revenge of the Nerds is going to be about this moment right now. I can see it.
Yeah, and they're all just chilling on like however much worth of crypto, so they've got all day just to do this.
Yeah, there's exactly.
And like everyone's had like such a crazy year, and now finally something fun and interesting is happening.
Yeah, it's true. And most of us don't care about money. Like, a lot of the people that are doing this stuff with GameStop, AMC, Doge, it's like we all basically just hate money and want it to be obsolete.
Don't you realize how much you could lose? It's like our existence is not about.
Do you know when you have $1 million in your bank account, it's backed by $1 million in debt, so you have negative. The more you have is the more negative you have. It doesn't make you're stacking debt.
You're guaranteed to have a good time with this, whether you win or lose. Like, it's just good times, and like having those memories and stories to tell. That's like the true value of anything, in my opinion. Like, you could sit at home with your piles and like just be all miserly. But yeah, Doge, it just inspires people to.
I mean, dude, CEO of Doge, Elon Musk. Come on, that was like. That's that hive mentality kind of like leaking out into that side of the real world. It was like when Elon Musk said, "Oh, I'm the CEO of Doge." It was like, "Oh, wow, this meme has like a virus. It is now. It's starting to infect the suits." I'm not against this at all, man. Like I said, it's like dosing your friends with a red pill. They don't necessarily know they're taking a red pill. Next thing you know, they got Doge and they're all woke.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like, people are always like, should I buy some? Like, is it a joke? I was like, I think this is going all the way to the top. Like, this should be a big part of anyone's portfolio. I'm like, look, like Elon's tweeting about it. Like, when there's a crypto on Mars, it's going to be Doge. Like,
that would make the most sense, man. Everybody wants it to be Bitcoin, but I would imagine he would just say Doge for the lols.
Out of principle. There's a good...
Well, at this point, using Bitcoin on Mars would just make the whales more whaley, and that's not Elon's, ethos.
Yeah, I mean, and once you're the richest guy in the world, like, you don't want more money. You want to have some funny times. At least I'm pretty sure. Did you probably saw this quote from the Clubhouse thing the other night.
Cult House. I'm not a big fan.
I've never even done anything on there. I don't know, but yeah, I think this is it. The most ironic or entertaining outcome is the most likely. And Doge, DDP, peace bonds, Nobel Prize, like this is pretty entertaining stuff.
That is true. People will want to see this happen. If Reddit
Are you
even got
ready?
a whiff of this, if Reddit got a whiff of this, there would be people dancing in, like you said, in like war-ridden countries right now. It just wouldn't. Reddit could make this happen.
Yeah,
It could happen.
It's all the pieces are there. I think it's finally time for it to come together, and yeah, we're seeing how powerful like decentralized groups of random people are to completely shake the world up and rewire it. And hopefully it's the evolution of this isn't just like going after Wall Street bankers and whatever, but like a giant party that everyone can join, because that's tribalism too. Like it's crazy. I went to way back 2011, I went to Occupy Wall Street. I don't know if you've ever seen, I did this like big speech through the boom boxes, and this was when it first crystallized in my head. I was like, man, this decentralized Occupy movement, like this has the power to be like open source decentralization. Like this, if this was the message, this would be the most powerful unifying message. So I went there and I was like, I don't think this should be a movement against rich people or bankers or corporations or police or whatever. Like this is about routing around the systems that you don't think are legitimate and building a new world peacefully. And I think a few people got inspired, but
You don't have to destroy the world to build around it, man.
yeah, it's still the message. Like people have been raging against the banks and everything ever since. At 9 years, nothing has changed. There's still, I mean, we've been building the alternate. I mean, there's people that have been.
One thing has changed. Doge hit an all-time high.
I mean, now we have like almost viable alternate systems, and everyone's starting to believe. And yeah, I think it's like the 100th monkey thing. Like before, everyone's like, "Oh, what's this? Like play money? That's never gonna work." I was like, "This is open source. This is like
it's getting to the
can
point of
build, and
ease,
it's
man.
gonna overtake everything."
Like what you just said, everyone can, and they can't, but they will be able to. The tech isn't like every day it's getting easier to do. Like I feel like, whoever the developers are at the end of this is like they're making this like for dummies. Like it's getting so easy to do things like minting NFTs, creating your own currencies, and once it gets to that point where the average, person can do that, like the average person can send an email, then the average person probably will just make their own coin. They probably will provide their own, have a liquidity pool and have people stake to them and then do bartering through that, like, oh, you want me to work for you 9 to 5? All right, well, how about you stake in my pool? And if you take out the liquidity, I just don't come to work that day. We're going to flip the paradigm of the pension. Because like what happened with the 401k and the whole pension plan, pensions got thrown out, 401ks came in. The 401k is going to get thrown out with this whole new thing that doesn't exist yet. Like the 401k didn't exist when the pension was. And we're building that now. It doesn't make sense because of the way that the system around us is built, but the system will be rebuilt around us.
I do agree. It's nice to finally have options, and it's crazy. Like if you look at money, like it was the same thing for hundreds of years. No evolution, and everyone was just forced into these systems. And now that we have some freedom, it's like thousands of innovations, and it'll completely rewire society. Like most people, the quote, "The medium is the message," Marshall McLuhan. And that's...
I've heard it.
Yeah, like I haven't released it yet, but I break it all down in the DDP field manual. Like the message of centralized force-based social operating systems is control and violence and dissociation. And if you really like zoom in, like what is open source? What is the message of this medium? It's just freedom, community, unity. Like people just don't see. They're too busy fighting like left and right, black and white, this and that. But like the thing to hone in on, this is what I said at the Occupy Wall Street. I was like, not about fighting each other or these symbols representing like or symptoms of the problem. Like the root of everything is force-based centralized systems. And finally we have options. And of course, the Doge.
I just want more Doge
Perfect
options.
figurehead.
I feel like Doge. I love the Shiba. Totally, I ain't gonna hate. But like poodles are cute, pit bulls are cute. Like Doge could be more than just one breed of dog, right?
There can be only one. There's something about the perfection of this pose that makes it the perfect divine avatar.
So my cute little pit bull can't be a Doge representative because she's not a Shiba.
I mean, I think any Doge, they're all. You watch them, they're definitely these expressions of divinity. There's no ego in a dog.
I might make
But
it my life's mission to just start using different dog images to promote Doge now.
I mean, you
Might
could
just
try, but I don't think
might
it'll
just be
take.
my. I have a whole lot of years left ahead of me.
There's only one Doge.
I'm gonna try to make all Doges. All Doges are
There's
Doges.
something about this pose though. Like so many people, it's not even me.
I
Like,
know.
saying, like everyone's like, this is kind of like the modern Mona Lisa. I was like,
It looks
it
fake. It
is.
looks photoshopped. That's the funny part.
Yeah. There's just something about the way the paws are crossed. This is how Doges will probably start meeting each other. Just a little paw cross.
I like that. I like it.
It's just hilarious. And now it's
But
like
it also gives me flashbacks to like, all right, officer.
Just got man. I had a crazy experience, and it was in Portugal after that party. We were going around on bikes, me, Camille, and Damien, and there was this. I was all like fired up. I don't know what. There was this like ancient castle, and I like climbed up the wall and jumped in. And I came out. There was this. I heard this old man was like yelling at me, and I poked my head out, and he's like yelling in Portuguese. I was like, okay, I guess he wants me to come down. And I came down, and he like grabbed me, and he was like 80 years old or something. And we were on like this drawbridge, and I had this like $1,000 rental bike, and he was yelling, and he wanted to do like a citizen's arrest or something because I climbed this castle, and I was like stuck. I was like, I can't run because I'll have to like fight this old man. He's like, and he was showing me all these like crazy military tattoos and stuff. And anyway, so he's there. He calls the police for waiting, and I'm like, I was like, man, I should just show him a Doge sticker and see what happens. I pulled out the Doge, and he looks at me, and he's like, Doge, 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 Doge. He said it 4 times. I asked Camille, I was like, did that happen? It seems so surreal. I was like, oh, he's going to let me go, but he wouldn't let me go. And then the police came, and I was like, I don't know. I'm from Canada. I was just climbing this castle. I'm sorry. And they're like, okay, we're going to take your name. But that's just one example.
I like how you started with I'm
Doge
from Canada.
consciousness. I usually pull that one out, yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere you go, if you're from Canada, they're already like, oh well, yeah. I mean, he's from Canada. Americans don't have that same privilege. I started lying.
It doesn't work the same.
I started lying about that. And I noticed. I was like, if I go anywhere, I'm from Canada. I get a lot of leeway.
Yeah, I've found though. I mean, I've done lots of traveling in the States with the DDP. I'm like, wow, Americans are so friendly and awesome. Definitely. I mean, yeah, that's our experience. Like every gas station we go to on a tour, it would be like, "Hey, where are you from? Like, what's up?" Like that
Well,
doesn't
that has
happen in
that.
Canada.
I feel like it has to be a tourist thing then, because I get that in Canada and I don't get that here.
I don't know.
It
My
has to be
buddy,
when you visit somewhere. It's like you're not there long enough to see all the crap. That's that. It has to be.
my buddy broke it down. It's like Canadians are polite, Americans are friendly, and that's been my experience.
If
So
you go south, the more south you go, the more polite they get.
maybe that was it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Southern
I see that.
hospitality.
Yeah, the southern hospitality and Canadian hospitality are very similar in like cultural engagements for sure. I love Canada, dude. I can't wait to be an illegal alien. Just can't wait for it. I'm gonna try to sneak in. So the
At least
event
virtually.
starts tomorrow. Yeah, right, exactly. The event starts tomorrow for ETH Denver. How long is the event, and just any more information that people can get about ETH Denver and what you're doing with them?
So yeah, like most things, this has come together pretty last minute, but yeah, ethddenver.com is where you go to sign up. And I haven't been, but everyone's told me like this is the coolest, most fun crypto conference. Um, and yeah, it looks like really good vibes. There's this huge, crazy virtual world you can run around in. It's a whole week long. There's all these hackathons, and they're not even calling it a conference. It's like a virtual community festival, I think is the term. Awesome people. It's all about art and learning and good times.
I like that they went with festival instead of conference.
Yeah, Justin had a really good term for it. I guess it's right here. Virtual Innovation Festival. Um,
Yeah, festivals over conferences, and that's actually funny. Every time I go to a conference, I just try to treat it like a festival. And I think people get that vibe when I show up to a conference. I'm like, okay, I'm at a festival.
in your Pegacorn pajama pants.
Yes, they get it though, and that's why. I mean, I wish I went to ETH Denver. What, like, I guess it was last year at this point, wasn't it in December?
I don't know.
It was in January. All I know is I could have went, I should have went, and I didn't. But shout out to Joel from the Bad Crypto Podcast and Steve Wand from Digitables, because both of them on their own reconnaissance got me a pair of pajamas, the same pair of pajamas of the Buffacorn in the image right there on the screen. So I got some swag from ETH Denver at least.
You are the Buffacorn.
I am. I am the Buffacorn. Oh God, that's a great. I am the Walrus remix needs to happen.
And an NFT.
Um, so I'm going to be able to get virtual swag from this one, though. I imagine outside of the Peace Bond NFTs that you're doing on Wax, I'm sure there will be a plethora of Ethereum NFTs in this event for people to grab. So
Yep.
if you're not busy for the next couple days, on the 4th and on the 5th, I definitely recommend you check this out. The opening party, it's going to be a DDP, and you can do it in your in your trousers. You don't even have to use your webcam. You can just do your own thing. Just tune in and be there.
Yep. But definitely, like all things DDP, family friendly. So
I think I only cursed like once, okay? And I think PG-13 movies even let that slide.
oh yeah. I
I
just mean
try.
in terms of wearing your trousers.
Oh yeah, that I wasn't think. Yeah, I guess that has happened on mainstream enough that we don't need it happening in the community. It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Luckily we've
everybody's
got
Zoom calling. That's funny.
teams of party chaperones to keep an eye on things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I hope that you have some admins and mods and
Oh yeah.
all those people that are gonna be able to kick those jerks out to try to ruin all the fun. That's the other thing though we didn't even touch on, and it's sort of really like not obvious to a lot of people, and I don't blame them for it. But the DDP is like a sober party event. Like it's a traveling dance party that you cannot be inebriated. When you can't be drunk or on drugs, walking around dancing. You wouldn't survive the DDP. So it actually kind of discourages people from getting intoxicated and partying because they wouldn't be able to keep up with the physical endurance and movement of the party.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be weighed down by like a 2-4 trying to have fun.
Right.
But yeah, like it all happened organically. Like it started like I grew up small town Ontario where it was all about like how many bottles of beer can you drink and how many can you break over your head. It was like ridiculous. And then yeah, we started doing the DDP, and at first there was still lots of drinking involved when it was just us and our friends, but as it got bigger and we had to figure out how to navigate it in society and not get shut down, we started just I guess it just happened organically where like all these people were messaging and they're like showed up. I had like a backpack full of beer, but I didn't drink it. I forgot to drink it and my feet hurt because I can't walk because I was dancing all night and I don't dance and I was sober and I don't know what happened. And we're like, yeah, like if the party is good enough, if we do our job well enough, then people won't even think of needing substances to escape from their inhibitions. So
That's one of the reasons I never went to parties in high school. I went to one party in a high school thing, and it was like freshman year. Never again. Cops raided it. Everybody was all messed up. Nobody was like the people they were before they got messed up. So I'm like, I don't like any of you right now. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't do any of this, so I'm bored. And then I got in trouble for the worst time of ever, and everybody else had fun and didn't even get in trouble. So, yeah, I wasn't a party person for that reason. And then that's like I said, like the DDP thing was just like that's why I traveled and gone to so many. It's just like it's
interesting.
one of those party vibes where it's just like I don't have to worry about some random drunk guy getting upset over some random reason and get into a fight with me at this party. It's never gonna happen at the DDP. Not even a chance. And that's the comfort that no party can provide. Like for me at least.
I always thought you were like a party guy.
No, 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 no.
That's
Everybody thinks
hilarious.
that. Yeah, dude. People
Yeah.
think I go to like Burning Man, and I'm like, I don't like going anywhere that I can't control my surroundings long enough that, like, after an hour or so outside of my hamster cage, my anxiety is like level 9,000. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and probably already has gone wrong. I just haven't noticed yet.
Hmm.
But like
Interesting.
the DDP stuff was like one of those things. Like, dude, I ain't gonna lie, it was very paranoid about it because I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of people here, and like not to bring up whatever, but like there's been some crazy social events that have been like taken advantage of by bad people, and I'm just like, damn, like and then it just all went away and it never came back at any of those DDPs. But like I'm still one of those people that's like I'm kind of happy that the movie theaters are closed because I had an anxiety attack every time I go to a movie theater because one jerk wanted to be and hurt people, and now I don't want to go to movie theaters anymore.
Oh,
I'm
that
that guy.
interesting.
Yeah, so I definitely don't party because one party when I was 14 ruined them all. But the
Oh
DDP is
man.
a different type of party, so
Yeah.
that's why it's totally my vibe.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. There's been yeah, a lot of people have said like I have PTSD and I couldn't be in crowds, but this was like a very healing crowd to be in because it's safe, good
It
vibes.
gives you faith in crowds again, or faith in like people again. That's what it was.
Have faith in crowds again is a good quote. And yeah, it's really interesting too, like just party philosophy. Like if you look, our party culture in Western countries has been very
It's been
rigid
demonized.
and centralized. Like when you force people with like it's like, oh, alcohol causes problems. We need to make all these laws and restrictions so problems don't happen, and then you get like binge drinking and people sneaking it in this culture. It's not like in Europe, kids grow up drinking with their family apparently. And here it's like, oh, we're gonna like go hide in the woods and chug a bunch of beer, and like horrible things happen. And it's just
Yeah, I
like
mean,
this.
I'm an adult now, and since they made cannabis recreational, it's lost a lot of fun.
I bet. I
I'm
mean,
in my
it's fun
30s, and
sneaking
I'm like,
around,
man,
but
yeah. But that's the thing, though. Once you take that away, it becomes a norm,
but
and it's starting to. I mean, I've seen that happen with places that are starting to, evolve into not forcing a certain gender to wear more clothing than a specific other set of gender. And those places, those people are. It's changing the people. It's changing the culture. and I think that will spread, and things like that will keep happening. I don't know, these I'm excited for these peace bonds in that sense that this is something that's virtual that will affect the real world. This could have real physical repercussions in the best way from a virtual thing.
Definitely. And yeah, it's cool that there's a story behind it. It's not like, oh, we saw NFTs were popular and we jumped on the train to make some money. It's like, this is something we believe in and have been doing for 7 years, building towards it. So it's definitely cool to have a piece of that. And
Well, you've
yeah,
earned it, man,
excited
and your
for
community is going to be there to support you. I know that much. I mean, I've been to enough DDPs and seen many of the same faces traveling the world with me to attend them, and I see that community that you have, it's a family, and you, like you said, you've been doing this for years. You have legacy. You have success too. You can show people the events that you've done, even with just out something like this. I think this is, to be a realist, probably might not happen this year, but it will eventually happen, and that's where it starts. Starts with trying and giving it more time.
the Nobel Prize, you mean?
Yeah, the Nobel Prize. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, that's a ways down the road. Like this year is just all about finishing the documentary. That's where a
Right,
bunch of
that's
money's
what I
gonna
meant. Like
go.
the completing the roadmap, right? Hitting that end goal may not be this year, but it will be eventually. It wouldn't be eventually if you didn't at least start and try. And
Yeah.
now you make it an inevitable thing.
And yeah, I'm not planning to.
I guess we can wrap things up, man. I mean, I don't know. I got a bunch of people still tuned in here watching. You guys are weird. It's been like an hour and a half. I would
This
have
is
thought they would have told me to shut up in the chat by now, but they're just like still fruiting along with everything we say.
this is a pivotal conversation, turning point in human history,
And you can hodl it. Proof
and you can
of it.
hodl it.
I mean, I kind of wish you could see whose bank history had war bonds in it so we could, socially treat them accordingly. And I think
You
that
mean send them some Doge to melt their hearts?
exactly. Yeah, I was thinking something like that, sure. And now we can see the people that do good, I mean, imagine if Elon Musk could just go and look at everybody who's donated to the Red Cross and then just pick one to give back to. This is that kind of stuff that we're going to see. I know it. And it starts with
Yeah,
stuff like this.
it's gonna be interesting because yeah, someone could like say Elon saw this happening. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna create 1914 Tesla NFTs and just gift them to these people, and then those could become like hugely valuable. Like it's gonna be neat to watch. I think some
Yep.
magic is gonna come out of this.
Well, that's it. We have magic, man. It's literally limited to our imagination at this time. The wand is in our hands. All we have to do is flick it.
Is that what you do with a wand? You flick it?
You just a flick of the wrist and a bippity, a boppity, and a boo.
I should show. I didn't explain the virtual parties yet. Should probably explain that.
Oh yeah, we still got a bunch of people watching, so yeah.
This is a sound box, and we realized pretty quick doing the virtual parties on Zoom during the pandemic that like everyone who's in the call can be a node out in the world with a sound box or a jammy pack.
I got mine.
Boombox.
It's in my closet, but I definitely still got my jammy pack.
That's good. But yeah, everyone can be a node out in the world. So with these parties, this is like the key to doing the simultaneous global activation. Like you can have 1,000 people on a Zoom. Each of those can have a sound box blasting music out. Even in the pandemic, you could do like a social distance party. So
Oh, I just have an idea. If anybody's watching this and you want to get $100 from me, all you have to do, and if multiple people do this, I will just pick the one person I thought did it the best. But if you go to like Best Buy or Walmart or like an electronics store and you take all their computers and go to like this dance party and just let the dance party play on all the Best Buy computers, send me a video of you doing that, and I'll give you $100. Like, I want to see a DDP at a Best Buy, and I know that I can't do it because social anxiety, but somebody else I know doesn't care, and they'll go out and do it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, go to Best Buy, go to the website, theddp.com. You can get all of the, I guess it will be on the website, right? Like, I don't know exactly how people will be able to enter. Will they have to actually, like, go into a virtual world, like Crypto Voxels or Decentraland or something like that?
So this is the opening night party tomorrow night.
Yeah, can people, like, watch just from, like, YouTube?
I'm not sure exactly how we'll be streaming. It'll probably be streamed to the ETH Denver site, and on our Facebook or whatever. But yeah, it'll just be held on Zoom, and then on the 5th is when ETH Denver officially opens the virtual world. And we're doing a closing night party too. I might do parties every night. Like, the plan, I think, is to release one bond every day through the week.
How many different bonds are there again?
There's 8.
8
total.
So yeah, it would be one every day for 8 days.
I think that's the plan. We're just pulling it all together at the last minute, figuring out what makes sense.
I feel like you're going to end up getting stuck doing a party every day for the rest of 2021.
Man, I hope not. It's so much work putting
I
these
hope so.
promoting them is a lot of work. Like, if I could just turn the computer on and do it every day, like, that'd be easy. But
yeah, but by day 30, it would be promoting itself.
Potentially. I don't know. It might happen.
Grassroots stuff, bro, around this grows like weeds.
It's going to be a very interesting week, especially with Doge and ETH all-time highs. Like, it's the right time to be doing this. So, yeah,
I'm
one
hype.
ETH that was like 30 cents back in the day is now
$1,600. Yeah, almost $2,000. Well, $2,000 your money.
Yeah. So you can get 2 peace bonds for if you invested 30 cents back in the day.
Bro, I always joked around with my American friends and said, if you ever want to get 20% more for your money, just go to Canada.
It's true.
It's so true.
Prices are the same. It's like 30% right now.
Every time I go to like a dispensary in Canada, I feel like a rich guy. I'm just like, I'm gonna pop some tags. I only got 20 US in my pocket, but it's really like 50 CAD.
Yeah, if you could live up here and earn USD through internet or whatever, like, you're set.
Yeah, dude, it is pretty great. It is. That's why I was literally saying I want to be an illegal immigrant in Canada.
Get up here. I should show you. I've had this off to the side too. It's important to. This is the vision of the DDP and what I believe the Doge represents. This whole thing should be an acceptance movement, not a resistance against anyone or anything, but the notion that force-based centralized systems are the best way to organize, and you don't win by fighting those things. You build something better and then have a good time along the way, and everyone will just join. And who wants to be on a sinking ship with a bunch of frowns? Not me.
I got off that ship a while ago, but I'm still trying to get people to come into my lifeboat. You know, I still got room for people. And I guess we can wrap things up with if 2022, you know, all the lockdowns are over and the world gone back to a place that doesn't look like this. Is there like a time that you would like to do another physical DDP? Like, once the lockdown's over, is there like any specific date or month or anything that you would, if 2022 something you could plan an event like this for without like world events interfering? Is there anything we could look forward to?
Yeah, there was supposed to be another Dogecoin this year before the pandemic. Dogecoin is shorthand for Doge Conference or Doge Consciousness. The notion that silliness is next to godliness. So yeah, hopefully another Dogecoin. Definitely lots of DDPs, and we're starting to get. We've got like, I think, 15 of these sound boxes now between me and friends in Vancouver. So we want to link those all together and make the most ridiculous sound system,
Yeah, I
portable
remember
sound system
wheeling
of
one of
all
those
time.
around for like 2 miles on a hand cart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a workout.
And yeah, we got the Doge rocket back in action. It's hard to see, but
It's a red
definitely a
rocket. We get
rocket.
it. We get it. It's a dog's red rocket.
Not that.
Not that.
Not that. I read.
Well, now you can't unsee it, folks.
You've spoiled everything.
I told you I'm a degenerate. I'm sorry. I held it in for an hour and 40 minutes. You should be proud of me.
I'm very proud. I'm impressed.
I are of you too, bro. So yeah, I guess guys, we're gonna wrap things up here. Please go to theddp.com. That's THEDDP.com. Okay? Make it easy for you. I'd type it in with your thumb if I could. Just go to theddp.com. Check out the peace bonds. We're going to be minting them on Wax, and they're going to be announced and launched at ETH Denver. This is it, bros. This is it. We can bring the world together and like dance the literal problems away.
Yes, sir. And
Thank you.
the
Yeah, man.
fancier
Yeah.
bonds might be on different chains too. You never know.
I want more chains. The more chains, the better, bro. I'm with it. I hope that people support that, which tribalism may be, but I think somebody has to start doing it to start breaking down that tribal barrier, and you can, and I think you will. So you should do as many different blockchains as you can for different bonds and bring those communities to this cause together.
As long as they're bridged to Doge, I don't want to deal with any blockchains that are not bridged to Doge.
All bridges will lead to Doge.
Yes. Maybe that's a bit of a harsh statement. I'd
It's
prefer,
mm,
but I mean
prefer.
it's all going to be linked. It's all Doge anyway, so
Yeah, I
it's
see
all
a
about
point in
what's in
time,
your
like you
heart.
said, with the Doge party making a smart contract protocol for Doge blockchain. With the rise in the Doge price, the developers of those chains usually do see an incentive to keep building again. And I've seen it even happen with Ethereum and CryptoKitties, where scaling became an incentive. And I can see that with Doge, like they have that opportunity now, and eventually somebody will. I mean, we're starting to even see, random blockchains doing NFTs. Doge doing an NFT is inevitable considering the Shiba, the Doge herself. Like, she is the original NFT, in my opinion. When you think about like images as like tokens go, like everything was just a logo of like the first letter or something of the name. But Doge was Doge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely want to do a series of Doge NFTs with the teachings of the Doge.
Yeah, let's make that happen. All right, bros, we're gonna wrap things up. Gus, awesome, I made it. What, bro? You made it at like the very end. We were here for like 2 hours.
Shout out to Gus. Thank
Yeah,
you to Gus for helping with the animations.
Gus. All right, we have Gus
We're
in the
actually
chat. Three Douglas, Jasper, Euclid. Yeah, Euclid was here. Dinesh,
nice.
Twerky, Pepe. I just want to make sure I just throw out random shout outs. Mark. Gears. Oh, Gears, you were here. Shout out to AJ, man. Good to see you. BTC Kyle was in the chat. Yeah, I was ignoring the chat so I could actually have a conversation with my friend. But thank you all for coming and talking to each other because I was ignoring you because I wasn't ignoring my guest. If you want to chat, hit me up in Telegram. Gary's in the Telegram, so if you have any questions about the peace bonds or the DDP or like ETH Denver, hit us up in the Telegram. And as always, have a day.
All right. Thank
We're
you,
off the
sir.
air. Oof.
I
Yeah, man.
gotta
My butt hurts from sitting so long.
let me finish my live stream.
Oh. Whew. I'm so tired. I haven't slept. Hi, Facebook. Bye, Facebook.
It's gone.
Dude, I'm so sore.
Why is that?
Because I didn't sleep at all. And I've been sitting in this chair for 2 hours straight now. My butt hurts. I don't even sit and game that long. I'll get up and, like, stretch.
Yeah, it's important. I've been not doing enough of that. But yeah, is today a good day to jump on Wax? And
Yeah, I can definitely do it. Just give me a few hours. Like,
Yeah.
I can, if you can give me till, like, I don't know, like 8 o'clock at night or something, maybe
Yeah,
even a
whatever.
little bit later,
Oh,
I could
yeah,
do it
shit,
until
I'm
we're
supposed
done.
to. I forgot I had a meeting right now at 11. So
Oh, well, do
jump
what you
into
got to
that.
do. Yeah, go do what you got to do. Hit me up in
Yeah.
Telegram, and I'll be down tonight 100%. Later tonight, we could
Yeah.
do a Zoom, and I'll show you, and we can do the minting.
Awesome. All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, buddy.
Later,
That was
bro.
awesome.
Thanks, you, man. Hey, same. Later.
Great interviewing.